Vision.
Commanders put up 42 points on the Cardinals. They're 3-1.
Right now.
Lead the NFC East as coach predicted. Jayden refuses to throw incompletions.
Yeah.
We're not even talking about interceptions. Incompletions. Highest completion percentage in a 4-game span. This is not like my first 4 games. And they're both those MVP seasons. This is an insane statistic. Something or nothing. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, it's something. And the difference to me between Jayden and Caleb is the presence in the pocket. And this is what you saw in college, too. He drops back, and he's looking to go through his progression. He's not going to find the answer with his feet right away. He's not going to be moved out of the pocket by a phantom pass rush and put all the pressure on the offensive line. He's going to try to find that answer, and he's got a catchable ball, an accurate ball, and then when things break down, he's willing to use his feet. But because he's so dangerous with his feet, that then creates other opportunities. The fact that he's producing at this level, it's nothing. I didn't see it being this good. I thought it was going to be good and get better, but these numbers are
well, it's remarkable,
abnormally high.
Right.
I mean, there's the numbers. So 7 total touchdowns.
Yeah, 4 rush TDs, 3 pass, 107
passer rating's
quarterback rating.
insane.
Yeah.
So, Brew, listen, it's obviously something. It's spectacular, and he is doing it with. I understand they played better this week, but with on a down-to-down, play-for-play basis, what has been the least effective defense in the league over the course of the year. So I'm going to ask you a question because I don't think we have it in the show today. If we were to do Brew's ballot. Does he have an argument right now for the #1 spot? The team is 3-1.
I would not.
His numbers are remarkable. The defense is unlike Darnold. Darnold is playing very well.
Darnold would be number 1.
But Darnold, but that team would have won a couple of those games with me. Like Flores' defense is bringing so much to the table there, and he has Justin Jefferson.
But Darnold's got 11, leads the league with 11 touchdowns, leads the league in passer rating. And again, I think Darnold is absolutely on pumpkin watch, but I would have him probably #1, which sounds crazy, but that's what he would be right now. But yeah, it's something because, I mean, Daniels is incredible, and I don't want to. It's hard after 4 games. You hate to just label a guy, a star, but he looks fantastic. And the team though is interesting. Look, they haven't beat the Arizona, Cincinnati, the Giants, all 1-win teams, and then they played a good team in Tampa and lost. So I'm just something to watch.
Hold on, but one of those things
I think Cincinnati's a good team.
When you beat when we're only a handful of games into the year,
I know.
When you beat a team, it deprives them of a chance of getting a win.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I
they
mean?
played 3 other games.
So okay,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying they're one team.
Cincinnati good or not?
I think they're good.
Yeah.
Depending on where we are in this show.
Not me. Not Mr. Consistency. You know who I think's good and bad. But that's why a narrative flip. Because the other thing that Cliff Kingsbury right now is in his bag and good for him. It's September. He typically is. I'll say it again. 3
Just so you know, for those of you Washington Commanders fans who don't know, Nick just said that because he says that Cliff Kingsbury starts off in his bag in the beginning and then they just crash and burn. He's not very high on Cliff Kingsbury, by the way, and thinks Jaden will also kind of come back down because, he's really all about Caleb Williams because he had Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears going to the Super Bowl. And then, of course, we obviously have Jaden just dominating whatever Caleb Williams is doing.
2 weeks from now, I think they'll both be 4-2. Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Right now, that game's a 1 o'clock game. Flex that sucker. Those 2 guys with a team with a chance, I think, to get to 5-2 be a big deal, and that we can see how it looks then.
Little rookie of the year.
Well, right now, Jaden's way ahead, but again, we're the quarter pole of the season.
I want to hear you say it. Vikings alert.
All right, let's talk about this. I've done this in a couple videos, but I got to do it again. I got to do it again because I've just called this so correctly. I already did my deep receipts where I showed you all the Jayden Daniels videos that I made talking about how he's going to have great success, quick success with Cliff Kingsbury and the Commanders and all of that. And then I said that the Commanders were going to beat the Cardinals, or that I said that Jayden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury, they're going to really want to win this game, that it's going to be a big moment for them. Cliff Kingsbury coming from obviously being fired from Arizona. And the reason why I'm also showing this is because a lot of people told me that I was wrong. And so I got to highlight it because I even brought up Cliff Kingsbury, and they were all saying, no, it has nothing to do with Cliff Kingsbury. He's on good terms with Arizona, yada, 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 and he's on good terms with Kyler Murray. So this is what I said before the game, when Colin predicted that the Commanders were going to lose, just where the Commanders are. I wonder if Cliff Kingsbury will be able to offer any insights, obviously being the head coach of the Cardinals and Kyler Murray, and if he has any insights on any of Kyler Murray's weaknesses or how to slow him down and how to stop him. But also, right, this is also the return of Cliff Kingsbury, right, and being fired and used as a scapegoat, and Kyler Murray really kind of continuing to like pretty much rub dirt on him after he fought, long after he was let go and all of this. And so Cliff Kingsbury really wants to win this game, and the team wants to win for Cliff. We always see these teams rally behind them, and I compared it kind of to a similar experience, although not exactly, but similar experience to Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions trying to beat Matthew Stafford and the Lions. Obviously, the stakes are much lower considering it's not a playoff game and all of that. But I do think that the Commanders will use that as a little bit of a rallying cry, right? They're going to use the momentum that they had against the Cincinnati Bengals and that big, massive win, and they're just going to be super high on it. And, they're going to try to continue that momentum, and they're going to want to get that win. And I believe that Jayden Daniels is probably developing a legitimate relationship with Cliff Kingsbury, and he's going to feel like, I want to win for coach. I want to win for my guy, I want to win for the guy who's helping me achieve my literal dreams in the NFL right now. They're going to want it, and Dan Quinn's going to want it for his guy as well. The Commanders as a whole are going to want this win, so they're going to get their best effort. What does that look like? I really, yeah. And so again, I was, so many people were like, no, you're wrong. Nothing to do with Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury, Arizona doesn't mean anything, and yada, yada, yada. And then you see who got the game ball. That's Dan Quinn. That's Cliff Kingsbury. It looks like that locker room and the whole team has rallied behind Cliff Kingsbury. Seems like they really wanted to get that win for Cliff Kingsbury, and Jayden Daniels really stepped up. Seems like that was a pretty big moment for that team, which is exactly what I said. So that's why I had to do the victory lap, because come on, you guys, sometimes you just got to do it. But, what the Commanders are doing is just so unbelievable. What Jayden Daniels is doing is so unbelievable. I've already talked about it multiple times today, but I just love talking about it. 86.7% completion percentage, just wild. Over 200 yards rushing for the team as a whole. 47 of those yards came from Jaden himself. It's not only that him and Cliff Kingsbury are just working so seamlessly. It's just that the team itself is clearly bought in to what they're doing. And what makes Jaden also really special, because Mangini kind of pointed this out to a degree, but I want to take it to the next level. What Jaden does is, first off, his legs are an afterthought, actually, right? It's not a get out of jail free card where, oh my God, things are happening, I got to go. He actually does go through his progressions. He is looking to pass down the field. He gets these defenses in those little middles where it's like, we're going to go after the quarterback. Nope, we got to wait. We got to protect the pass, in the middle. And he's so good now at getting the defense just like, I don't know what's going on. And more often than not, he actually ends up doing a soft little pass, which is so great to see because it keeps everyone involved. I said this in one of my previous videos. The running backs, the wide receivers, the tight ends, they want the ball, man. They want the ball in their hands. They don't want to just block. They don't want to just watch the play. They want to be involved. They want the ball. They need the ball. It's what they want. And so when a quarterback is constantly running and running and running, yeah, even if you're winning, the team feels good about it, but it still like slightly disconnects the team ever so slightly. I'm not saying this is like a big, massive thing, but it's definitely part of it. And so the fact that Jaden is still able to use his legs in a way that keeps everyone involved, right? 26 for 30, 233 yards, right? And the running backs are also getting involved as well as tight ends, wide receivers, right? It's just so great to see. And when they use Jaden as a runner, it's not just, I got to run, and I'm just going to try to outrun everyone. It's actually strategic. When they even do designed runs, it's done in a way to have Jayden Daniels use his intelligence, not his legs. When you see, I think it was either for a touchdown or just a first down in the red zone. I forget exactly. But it was just so strategic, right? I even wrote down, Jaden is such a smart runner. Cliff's design QB run doesn't just use JD's speed, he uses his intelligence and instincts. And it's as clear as day to me, right? It's not just, oh my God, I got to run and I'm just going to try to quickly run. Like, it's just so much more methodical. It's so much more intentional, and I love to see it. That's why there's no excuse for Jaden to never not get down, to never, to avoid getting hit, because he's too smart. He's clearly too smart. Anytime he takes a hit, it's Jaden, you know better. You're too smart for this, man. You are too smart. Get out of bounds, slide, whatever it is. You're too smart. He's clearly an incredibly intelligent and bright quarterback. So, you better prove me right with that. But I mean, I also wrote this down. The Commanders fans, the Commanders had the fans booing by the beginning of the third quarter. Right at the beginning of the third quarter, there's still some life left. There's still some game left. Cardinals can come out of the second half, make adjustments. Let's go. And it was like 12 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Commanders just had the fans booing the Cardinals. Okay, that's impressive. On the road, rookie quarterback, young team, the return of Cliff Kingsbury, who was completely scapegoated. I mean, it was just awesome. It was a big win. And I also said this, which I didn't show in my clip. This is such a huge team building moment. Winning Monday Night Football was huge. That was the true coming out party, right? That was the moment where I said that the players now can look at their coaches and say, wow, what you've been saying is real. Like, you've been telling us all these things, but now we really see it in practice. Now we really believe. Now we're really excited, right? And now they feel connected. They just beat Joe Burrow, the Bengals, on the road, Monday Night Football. Everyone's going nuts. Troy Aikman saying this quarterback's unbelievable. Joe Buck is speechless, right? Like, it was a big, massive moment. And like I said, they were going to ride that momentum into the Arizona. And now they clearly rallied. That's why Cliff Kingsbury got the game ball. Right? They were clearly rallying behind it. Let's get this for Cliff. Let's do this for Cliff. Everybody could feel it. Everybody could know it. That's our guy now. And for them to come out with a win and have that moment in the locker room on the road, now they're traveling back together. That is team building. You are supercharging your team building. Supercharging it. One of the last things is for them to like really lose badly and get hit in the face and be able to overcome it. Right, you need all of those things. You can make the argument that the Buccaneers did that, but that was the first week. No one really knows what to expect, right? Now they really believe. You want to really believe in yourself, believe in your team, believe in what you got going, and then get beat bad. Then it's like, all right, guys, I got to pick myself up, right? That's how you meet your best friends, right? That's how you know your family is your family. Not when they're just with you when the times are good. It's when the times are bad as well. Who's there to help you up? Who's there with you in the trenches? That's really like the last thing they need. And then it's like, this team is like complete, man. Right? Like, they are better than the Houston Texans were last year with CJ Stroud. So to continue, because they're just way ahead schedule with Jaden and Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury right now. They would have been happy just to be kind of competitive, not even make the playoffs. Now, I said I think they were going to make the playoffs. But the way how this team's rolling now, they can win the division. They could get to the playoffs, and this is what the Texans had in their benefit, where they were able to win a playoff game. So again, they got to know what it was like to win that playoff game, get that experience, get that excitement, feel good, and then they got beat real bad against the Ravens, which again is actually not the worst thing. Now they know what it's like to win a playoff game. Now they know what it's like to lose a playoff game, right? You need to have that balance. And so right now, to me, my expectations of the Commanders are like, depending if maybe it's just a very unlucky draw with the playoffs, it's like, win a playoff game. You could legitimately win a playoff game. And then now, if that's the case, the Commanders are favored next season, right? I mean, they're favored to win the division, favored to be a top contender in the NFC. Like, you're just expediting this whole process. The only problem is that if you're too good, Cliff Kingsbury will be gone sooner than later. And I said that even before the season started. I said that's actually going to be the biggest problem the Commanders face, is that Cliff Kingsbury is going to get Jayden Daniels rocking so well in this offense so well that he's going to get another head coaching job. Heck, it might be the Philadelphia Eagles, honestly. I mean, seriously, he will get another coaching job. And I don't know in how many years, 2 years, 3 years. I don't know how flexible those contracts are as an offensive coordinator, how that exactly works. But he's not going to be with Jaden for his whole career. That's the biggest problem. But what he's doing right now with Jaden and what Jaden's doing with Cliff, vice versa, the relationship is just working. It's understood. Jaden has like the perfect amount of leeway to execute what Cliff Kingsbury wants to do, but also add his own flavor to it, make it his own. and it's just awesome. It really is. And again, you saw Cliff Kingsbury do everything he could from an offensive coordinating standpoint and preparation, right? This was going to be Jaden's best moment because there's no way he wants to go back to Arizona and lose to Kyler Murray and the Cardinals. There's no way. And he wants to say, I got the real quarterback. You think you do? No. This is what a legitimate quarterback looks like. Good luck with whatever you got going over there. Kyler Murray can say, oh, it's so much better now that Cliff's not here. You said you didn't need me. I'm not a good coach. Go ahead. Go. I got Jaden. I got the Commanders. I got Dan Quinn. We good. We're good. So you know he was going to do everything. You saw it on full display. 42 points. Nearly a 90% completion percentage. It was just unbelievable. I wish I had the other stats written down, but I don't. Because I mean, it was just so effortless. It was just so dominant. I mean, they got their touchdowns. They got 2-point conversions. I mean, they just did whatever they wanted. Just a perfect game, start to finish. Unreal. Jaden Daniels is legitimately an MVP candidate right now as a rookie. If it wasn't for Sam Darnold having this year right now, and the Vikings as a whole, I mean, Jayden Daniels would be the front runner, especially after Josh Allen just got beat pretty good by the Ravens. So this is for real. This is legit. I think it will get a little bit harder for the Commanders. They do have some tough games coming up ahead. So again, it's not like they're just going to keep rolling and they're just going to win 15, 16 games. There's going to be adversity. There's going to be some bad losses. There'll be a game where Jaden doesn't throw for 87%, right? It's going to happen. He's going to have 2 interceptions in a game and a fumble. Happens to every single quarterback. And that's why you're going to see them face adversity. You're going to see them overcome it. You're going to see them learn and grow from it. And yeah, this has just been really, really fun and exciting to watch. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Jaden's performance? Is it something or nothing? Kind of an absurd question at this point. It's obviously something. It's obviously big. But let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.